Nothing in Beyond the Gates has prepared viewers for the chaos unleashed in the latest episode. Every line of trust has been shattered, every secret exposed, and every relationship teeters on the edge of collapse. Smitty and Martin, on the verge of what seemed like perfect happiness, find themselves ensnared in silent conspiracies they cannot see. Kat and Tomas are caught in a whirlwind of desire, guilt, and unforeseen consequences, each heartbeat carrying the weight of choices that could destroy them. Meanwhile, Haley manipulates from the shadows, wielding secrets like weapons, and June desperately tries to guide Tyrell away from fatal mistakes. In this world of obsession, betrayal, and high-stakes ambition, no one is safe, and no decision is without peril. Every move matters, and the line between love and ruin has never been thinner. In the dim light of dawn, Smitty stood by the window, her mind flooded with conflicting emotions. The second proposal had just taken place, yet an unsettling feeling lingered within her. Martin, with his radiant smile and seemingly devoted gaze, embodied the happiness she had longed for, but Smitty could not escape the ghosts of the past, suspicions creeping into every gesture, every word he uttered. Could love truly be a salvation, or was it merely a charm leading her into a mire of unseen schemes? Every glance, every touch could conceal cunning deceit she had yet to recognize. Meanwhile, in the cramped but tension-filled room, Kat bore the crushing weight of a horrifying guilt. Tomas lay motionless, gravely injured, and the memory of the accident tormented her relentlessly. Each breath he took was like a dagger pressing into her conscience, forcing her to confront choices she had never imagined facing. She had stepped into a dangerous game of passion and recklessness, yet now the consequences exploded before her, turning every decision into a potential trap. Who would be held accountable? Was it her, or was it fate itself? This question gnawed at Kat while threatening to draw those around her into unprecedented peril. Haley, with her sharp gaze and sly smile, maneuvered her moves silently yet meticulously. Every action was calculated, as though each piece of information she gathered were pawns on a grand chessboard of relationships and power. The secrets she acquired could alter the balance of all interactions, risking the futures of everyone involved through deception and manipulation. Who could truly tell what Haley intended with this intelligence? Was it merely a strategy to safeguard herself, or a plot to control and dominate those who once trusted her? Her silent but menacing presence cast a chill through every corner, every relationship, forcing all to reconsider each step they took. June, standing on the sidelines, observed Tyrell with a mix of concern and apprehension. Her heartfelt advice seemed the only thing capable of rescuing him from deadly mistakes, yet could it bear enough weight to prevent him from spiraling into calamity? Tyrell, proud and self-assured, was caught in a maelstrom of internal pressure and dangerous choices. Each word from June was a double-edged sword, offering a path forward while stoking fear and doubt. He faced a crossroads in life, uncertain whether to trust himself or the people around him, and these choices could trigger irreversible tragedy. Smitty and Martin, seemingly on the verge of tranquility, were still surrounded by covert plots. Martin, firm yet anxious, began to question the loyalties of those around him. Who truly stood by his side? Who smiled behind his back? Every glance, every minor gesture could hint at a greater conspiracy. The creeping sense of betrayal transformed their presumed happiness into a storm of concealed tension, ready to erupt at any moment. Smitty, engulfed in anxiety, wondered whether love could withstand these schemes and doubts, or if she were merely wandering into a labyrinth of deceit and danger. Kat, though fearful and tormented, could not avoid confronting herself. Every minor choice she had made seemed like a brick pressing down on her mind, leaving her overwhelmed by a wall of guilt and responsibility. Tomas, in a near-unconscious state, became the bridge between life and death, forcing Kat to weigh whether she would flee or take responsibility for her actions. The haunting memory of the accident not only terrified her but also created tension with those around her, making any action she took a double-edged sword. Haley, with her keen strategic mind, did more than collect information, she orchestrated situations to observe reactions. Every small detail, every secret revealed or withheld, became a tool for control, manipulation, or sowing fear. Her silent, dangerous maneuvers raise the question, could anyone around her truly be safe, or were they all pawns in the game she directed? With each revelation, tension escalated, new suspicions arose, and characters were cornered, compelled to react negatively, sometimes ruthlessly. June, exercising patience and intuition, tried to balance the repercussions of Tyrell's decisions. Each action, each piece of advice, was a risky step through a labyrinth of conflict and intrigue. She foresaw the potential consequences but could not be certain of timely intervention. The tension between personal choice and responsibility to others weighed heavily on her, forcing her to confront her own limits and inner conflicts. The interplay of tension and internal struggle painted a vivid picture where love, ambition, betrayal, and duty intertwined. Every character, Smitty, Martin, Kat, Tomas, Haley, June, and Tyrell, faced arduous decisions, where each choice could lead to tragedy or fleeting triumph, but never certainty. Unrevealed secrets, cunning schemes, and subtle manipulations created a continuous atmosphere of suspense, where every action could reshape the outcome. The storm of emotions showed no sign of abating. From fears of betrayal to guilt, doubt, calculated manipulations, and strategic scheming, everything merged to create an episode of Beyond the Gates at its peak intensity. Viewers were left questioning, who would bear responsibility for these actions? Who could endure betrayal and relentless pressure? Who would emerge victorious, and who would succumb under the weight of their own decisions? As the episode draws to a close, the fragile veneer of normalcy that once held Smitty and Martin together has been shattered beyond repair. The air between them is thick with unspoken suspicions and half-formed accusations, each glance carrying the weight of doubt and the faintest hint of betrayal. What once seemed like unwavering love now teeters precariously on the edge of paranoia, forcing both to question not only the loyalty of those around them but the very foundation of their bond. Even the smallest gestures, a lingering look, a pause before answering, become loaded with meaning, and every decision could tip the balance toward reconciliation or catastrophe. The question lingers, can love truly survive when the shadows of doubt are so deeply entrenched, or will it dissolve entirely under the pressure of hidden agendas and silent manipulations? Meanwhile, Kat is left to navigate the aftermath of the accident that changed everything. The physical injuries sustained by Tomas are only a fraction of the emotional scars inflicted on both of them. Every movement he makes is a reminder of the choices that led to this moment, and every sigh, every flinch, intensifies Kat's guilt, amplifying the relentless internal dialogue that refuses to be silenced. The lines between responsibility and survival blur, leaving her trapped in a maze of regret and self-recrimination. With each passing hour, the consequences of that night grow more complex and impossible to untangle, forcing her to confront the reality that some actions cannot be undone, and some truths cannot remain hidden. Who will bear the ultimate cost, and will justice, or retribution, ever find its way to the guilty? Haley, ever calculating, watches the chaos unfold with a predatory precision that chills those who glimpse the depth of her strategy. Every secret she uncovers, every slip of a tongue or inadvertent glance by those around her, becomes a tool to manipulate, dominate, or simply observe the unraveling of her carefully crafted web. Her presence is felt even when unseen, and the implications of her moves extend far beyond immediate conflicts, creating a ripple effect of tension and mistrust that ensnares everyone. The question is not whether she will act, but when, and what the cost will be when her ambitions intersect with the fragile psyches of those around her. June's desperate attempts to guide Tyrell away from disaster provide a counterbalance to the relentless storm of deceit, yet even her wisdom has limits. Tyrell's pride, impulsiveness, and fear of vulnerability clash violently with the guidance offered, creating moments of intense internal struggle. Each choice, each hesitation, threatens to pull him deeper into peril, while June must weigh the consequences of intervention against the inevitability of mistakes made in desperation. The tension between guidance and autonomy, influence and freedom, creates an almost unbearable suspense, leaving both characters and viewers on edge. By the time the screen fades, the episode has left a trail of uncertainty, shattered trust, and unanswered questions. Every character stands on the precipice, aware that the next decision, whether guided by love, guilt, ambition, or fear, could redefine alliances, destroy relationships, or even threaten lives. Secrets, once dormant, now pulse with the potential to ignite conflict. Betrayals, once hidden, now lie poised to explode, and the fragile bonds of trust are stretched to the breaking point. The question remains: who will survive the intricate dance of deception, and who will be consumed by the consequences of choices made in desperation and desire? The answers are uncertain, the risks immense, and the stage is set for a next chapter more unpredictable, more ruthless, and more shocking than anything that has come before.